Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Last time we talked about the preoperative and postoperative management of surgical patients, and another aspect, very important aspect, especially of post-surgery patient, is the post-operative pain management. So the biggest problem that our surgical patient will have is the post-operative pain. So today's lecture would be about the management. We will define the management of, and we will define the pain. We will define the basic types of the pain. We will define the negative effects of the unrelieved pain, and then how can we measure the intensity of the pain, and what are the methods we can control the pain, and what are the goals that are there for the post-operative pain management. So if we want to define the pain, actually the pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage. So in fact, it's feeling that there is something wrong and we need to address that. It is unpleasant, and it is a sensation, and it's an emotional effect, as it has got emotional effect as well. And if you don't treat it, there is potential that it might lead to the tissue damage. So there are two types of pain. One is nociceptive pain, and the second is neuropathic pain. What is nociceptive pain? Nociceptive pain is the pain that one feels because of the trigger of the nociceptive receptor. And these nociceptive receptors are pain receptors that they are present in all our organs, like somatic or visceral, skin, muscles, bones. So if any mechanical damage is there in these tissues, or there is inflammation, or there is chemical stimulus, or there is thermal stimulus, one would feel pain, and this is called nociceptive pain. Regarding the neuropathic pain, it is due to the damage in the peripheral nerve or in the central nervous system or at the nerve root level. So what will be negative effects or effects of pain in the body? We will have physical and emotional suffering, and we will have sleep disturbances, and we cannot sleep when we have pain. We all know that. Then there are cardiovascular effects, and then there are when you have pain, there is increased oxygen consumption. So, and if we don't treat acute pain adequately, then there are chances that this pain would become chronic, and this will lead to social disability, and this will also lead to isolation of the adults and children, and this will also lead to behavioral changes in children. Like आपने देखा होगा कि अगर किसी बच्चे को बाजू पे चोट लग जाती है तो कई दिनों तक अपना बाजू इस्तेमाल ही नहीं करता. सो at times it lasts for 1 year, and if the acute pain is not relieved, so it will affect each and every organ of the body, like cardiovascular system. When we have pain, the heart rate increases, there is raised blood pressure, and there is increase in myocardial oxygen demand. There would be hypercoagulability, and there would be decrease in lung volume, and this will lead to decreased cough and retention of secretion. And what effects it will have on the body? If there is heart rate increases, There might be, you might have unstable angina, there could be myocardial infarction, hypercoagulability state can lead to DVT, pulmonary embolism, and when we can't breathe properly, there would be basal atelectasis leading to pneumonia, and that will lead to hypoxemia and GI tract. Because there is pain, so gastric emptying will be decreased and the bowel motility will be decreased. There would be ileus, there would be anorexia, there would be constipation. So in neuroendocrine, you know, there would be altered release of hormones from starting from pituitary to pancreas to thymus to prostate, and that will lead to different biochemical effect on the body like hyperglycemia. There would be, because we would not be using our musculoskeletal system, there would be weight loss, muscle wasting, and because there would be less blood supply, then there would be impaired wound healing, and patient would not be is anorexic, is not taking proper diet. There would be impaired immune function, and when there would be muscle spasm or impaired muscle mobility or function, this will lead to immobility, weakness, fatigue, and psychologically the patient would be affected. He would have anxiety, he would have fear, he would be deprived of sleep, and he can go into post-traumatic stress disorder. So what are the things that lead to pain? Like hematoma can cause pain, infection can cause pain. If there is insufficient blood supply, that will lead to pain. Thrombosis can lead to pain. Neuronal damage can lead to pain. Ischemia can lead to pain. If you have unstable fracture, you would have pain. If post-operatively you have done the tight bandage, then you can have pain. So how can we measure that pain? There are three methods to measure the pain analog. One is visual analog, second is verbal numerical rating scale, third is categorical rating scale. So each has a little bit difference. Visual analog scale will rate the pain from 0 to 10. 0 is no pain and 10 is the maximum pain. Whereas verbal numerical rating scale, the patient verbally tells that 0 is no pain and 10 is the worst pain, maximum pain he can have. Categorically rating scale will tell you 0 if there is no pain. If there is mild pain, then it will be 2 to 3, and moderate will be 4 to 5, severe will be 6 to 7, and very severe 8 to 9, and the worst pain would be rated as 10. So what are our goals in management of post-operative pain? That is to reduce the pain, and that will in turn improve quality of life. It will lead to facilitate rapid recovery, and it will lead to reduce morbidity and mortality, and we can discharge the patient early. So if we can manage the pain effectively in post-operative period, that will lead to reduced complications, increased patient satisfaction, and chances of going into the chronic pain syndrome will be reduced, and it will naturally reduce the hospital stay of the patient, and it will also lead to reduction in the cost, because if he has pain, he has to be admitted for many days in the hospital, and our resources will be used in managing this pain, and cost will goes up. So if we can manage the post-operative pain effectively, that will lead to good resource utilization in some other things. How can we do that? So there are certain ways we can reduce the pain. There are pharmacological options for pain reduction, like we can give systemic opioids that act on central nervous system. Then there are psychological method. We can tell the patient, and we can educate the patient about it. Then at the spinal level, we can give spinal anesthesia and opioids, non-opioids, and then in the periphery we can do epidural local anesthesia, and then the scar or the incision can be infiltrated with local anesthesia. We can give non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We can give paracetamol. We can give opioids. So these are the different methods in which we can manage the post-operative pain. Actually, no one method is correct or wrong. It is multimodal analgesia that will help. So combination of different analgesic and local anesthesia can provide effective pain control at low doses and thus with less side effect. So for example, if you give epidural local anesthesia along with the opioids, so the dose of opioids can be reduced, or we combine it with the NSAID, and the dose of opioids then will be reduced. So it is a multimodal analgesia. We give analgesia in combination, so not only effectively control the pain, but also to reduce the dose, frequency, as well as the strength. So in turn, what will happen? The side effects of analgesia will be reduced. We also need to educate the patient, like we need to make patient educate in assessment of pain with the VAS scale, and we can tell them about the available methods. We can tell them, we could talk to them what are our aims and how that can be achieved. And at times patients' expectations are that 100%. It might not be 100%. You can educate the patient that even 90% goal is the one that will be helpful to them. So patient role in the management of pain, post-operative pain control is very important. Then there are certain side effects that are associated with each and every painkiller. So we need to take important safety measures, like we need to take the doses and the time interval of analgesic and tell that to patient, and we can adjust the dose according to the severity of the pain, and then we can educate them that it has to be tapered off. अगर आज आपने 2 गोलियां पैरासिटामोल की 6 घंटे बाद ली हैं तो पेन मैनेज होती है, तो आप उसको रिड्यूस करेंगे विद 2 TDS to 2 BD. And then if the patient is taking any other medication, we need to tell them that there are possible interaction between what we are giving to the patient and what can happen with other drugs. And then we have to be aware that what are the symptoms of overdose, toxicity, and how we need to manage that. And once if we have infiltrated local anesthesia and the organ which has been infiltrated become numb, so we need to take care of that insane organ. Like आप में से काफ़ी लोगों ने डेंटल ट्रीटमेंट करवाई होगी. सो वो लिंगुअल नर्व को जब नम कर देते हैं तो उसके बाद वो आपको बताते हैं कि फॉर 2-3 hours you might not be able to have any sensation, then there are chances that you might bite your mucosa, buccal mucosa, or your lips, or your tongue. So you need to take care of that as well. So what are the pharmacological options we have? We have non-opiates analgesia like paracetamol, like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, like COX-2 inhibitors. We have gabapentin, we have pregabalin. These are all non-opioid analgesics. Then we have weak opioids like codeine, Tramol, or combination of paracetamol with codeine, or combination of paracetamol with tramadol. Then there are strong opioids like morphine, diamorphines, pethidine, pyritramide, and oxycodone. So these are centrally acting strong, very strong opioids. Then in addition to these pharmacological options, we have adjuncts. Like in सबसे अगर मैरिज नहीं हो रही तो then we have ketamines, we have clonidine which can be injected. लोकल एनेस्थीसिया ब्लॉकेज जो है वो सेंट्रल ब्लॉकेज भी हो सकता है एंड स्पाइनल हो सकता है और एपिड्यूरल हो सकता है. सो plexus can be blocked like brachial plexus, like lumbosacral plexus. Then we can block the peripheral nerves, and then we can infiltrate into the scar or incision that has been given. Then local anesthesia can be used as intra-articular blockage. So then this local anesthetic agents can be used as continuous extended blocks via catheter and continuous infusion or intermittent, या continuous infusion दे सकते हैं, intermittent infusion दे सकते हैं. इसको कहते हैं patient controlled analgesia. And along with that we can top up with local long acting analgesics. सो ये सारे काम हम कर सकते हैं लेकिन इनका कम्बिनेशन में करना पड़ता है. सो द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ पोस्ट ऑपरेटिव पेन इज़ मल्टीमोडल ट्रीटमेंट एंड दैट वुड बी treated with combination of NSAID, paracetamol, local anesthetics, ketamines, and opioids. So combination of that has to be used. NSAID, they not only are painkillers, but if they are given along with opioids, so the dose of opioids can be reduced up to 30%. So we can reduce the side effects of opioids by combining it with the NSAID. And along with that, even NSAID alone for minor surgery would be sufficient to for post-operative pain management. But it certainly has got some side effects, like NSAID has got a bad effect on stomach. It can give rise to ulcer. It is nephrotoxic if you take it for a prolonged period of time, and in higher doses it can damage your kidneys, and it also has got effect on your cardiac function. So what are the methods that we can reduce the pain by using local anesthesia? लोकल एनेस्थीसिया जब हम यूज़ करते हैं तो एक तो ये है कि उसका अपना इफ़ेक्ट होता है, दूसरा ये है कि जो हमने कम्बिनेशन ड्रग यूज़ करनी है, एनसेड यूज़ करनी है या ओपियाइड यूज़ करनी है, उसकी डोज रिड्यूस हो जाती है. सो लोकल एनेस्थीसिया आप इंसिजन में दे सकते हैं, इन्फिल्टर कर सकते हैं, कंटिन्यूस पेरिफेरल नर्व ब्लॉक दे सकते हैं, आप एपिड्यूरल ब्लॉक के तौर पे यूज़ कर सकते हैं. अच्छा, लेकिन जब आप एपिड्यूरल एनाल्जेसिया देते हैं विद लोकल एनेस्थीसिया और एपिड्यूरल एनाल्जेसिक के साथ, सो ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इसकी एफिकेसी जो है वो रिड्यूस होती जाती है. सो इफ़ दे आर कंबाइंड विद ओपियाइड्स, so that will give you a better analgesic control and will have lesser side effects. जो कंटिन्यूस पेरिफेरल नर्व ब्लॉक है, इसमें भी इसको हम पेशेंट कंट्रोल एनाल्जेसिया भी कहते हैं. वी कैन combine it with morphine, continuous morphine, and we can give it in as a block like continuous femoral nerve sheath block and continuous epidural analgesia. These will provide the similar pain relief. However, the femoral nerve sheath block has fewer side effects as compared to the epidural analgesia. So जहाँ जहाँ possible हो आप local nerve को infiltrate कर दें rather than using the epidural space. अच्छा, हमने बात कर ली कि एनसेड्स हैं और ओपियाइड्स हैं, देन नर्व ब्लॉक्स हैं. इसके अलावा एडजंक्ट्स जो हैं लाइक केटामीन एंड अदर सप्लीमेंट्री एनाल्जेसिक. केटामीन इटसेल्फ इज़ ए वेरी वेरी गुड एनाल्जेसिक इन लो डोजेस, but it has certainly got side effect. It has to be monitored in hospital setting. Gabapentin and pregabalin, they will reduce the dose of morphine consumption by 32%, and but again the side effects will remain there. Clonidine, if given in combination with opioids, they will reduce the dose of opioids. अच्छा जी. So post-operatively patient will come back to you because of three things, and top of that is severe post-operative pain, or they will have severe post-operative nausea or vomiting, or they would have a disturbed conscious level or dysphoria. So when we discharge the patient after the daycare surgery, we should educate the patient they would expect moderate to severe pain for up to 48 hours. And then you will have to prescribe them effective analgesia and sleep pattern, their mobility, and their daily living activity. So daycare surgery, as it is increasing day by day, and most of the surgeries are done as daycare surgery. For that, we need to have a very good knowledge of pain management post-operatively. So जो डे के सर्जरी में है उसमें हमें पी पैक जो है वो बनाए होने चाहिए, पैक्स बने होने चाहिए जिसमें कि सारी कम्बिनेशन ऑफ एनाल्जेसिया हो और हमें पेशेंट को बताना चाहिए. और यूजुअली जो होम मेडिकेशन है उसमें हम कोशिश करते हैं कि ओपियाइड जो है वो रेगुलर यूज़ में ना हो, वो रेस्क्यू मेडिकेशन के तौर पे यूज़ हो. यू एजुकेट द पेशेंट कि दैट यू विल टेक पैरासीटामोल, यू विल टेक एनसेड. अगर उससे नहीं होते तो फिर जो है ना कम्बिनेशन ऑफ एनसेड एंड ओपियाइड्स कैन बी गिवन, और if that does not help, then you can use opioid exclusively as escape medicine. And this again we need to specify the days, कितने दिन के लिए लेना है. So it has to be in the supplies of 5 to 7 days. जो एनसेड हैं पैरासीटामोल, कोडीन, डेक्लोफेनिक सोडियम और एनसेड, इस 5 to 7 डेज से ज़्यादा नहीं देने. और ओपिएट्स को जो आपने देना है वो हमेशा आपने एज रेस्क्यू मेडिसिन देना है. और रिटन एंड वर्बल इंस्ट्रक्शन हैज़ टू बी गिवन टू द पेशेंट, एंड यू नीड टू टेल दैम, एजुकेट दैम अबाउट द साइड इफ़ेक्ट्स एंड हाउ वी टेल डाउन the analgesic, and we should avoid taking extra analgesic. So the take home message would be, so if the patient has mild to moderate pain, so step one would be that you give non-opioids like aspirin, like paracetamol, like diclofenac sodium or NSAID, and if it is mild to moderate. अगर moderate to severe है, इसलिए जो हमने 3 मेथड हैं असेसमेंट ऑफ पेन वो आपको बताएं कि उसके मुताबिक आपने रेट करना है कि माइल्ड है, माइल्ड टू मॉडरेट है और मॉडरेट टू सीवियर है. अगर मॉडरेट टू सीवियर है तो पेशेंट को आपने यू कैन गिव माइल्ड ओपिएट्स लाइक कोडीन एंड combination with NSAID or with paracetamol. If the patient has severe pain, then you need to give strong opiate like morphine, with or without non-opiates. So this is usually the steps that are taken, and that in that way we can manage the postoperative pain effectively. So this was all for today's lecture, and I hope it would lead you to a better understanding of pain management in surgical patient. I thank you very much.